Let's go watch it in 2D. No, let's go watch it in 3D. But if we watch it in 3D, then is it worth the cost?
Mirabel, delivery! I gave you the special since you're the only Madrigal kid with no gift. I call it the not special since, you have no gift.
Thanks?
Hello. This is Adolf, and today I'm reviewing the 3D movie Encanto, which is made by Disney. As always, I'll talk about the 3D aspect first. Now, overall, the 3D in Encanto is very well done, but I feel like it could have been better. It definitely had benefits from being in 3D. The characters look great in 3D. The environments look great. It looks like you're peering into the window into this world. I dig it. There's definitely a few key scenes that use 3D depth to make the scenes more intense. There's a lot of singing scenes, and these singing scenes are very nice in 3D. And they happen a lot. So when these scenes happen, the 3D can really shine. You do get some occasional 3D pop-outs, but it's fairly rare, outside of some little random things like sparkles and such. Maybe it was my theater, but I felt like the 3D could have been stronger and more prominent. It felt very good. Sometimes, great here, but it didn't stay great. It was good with great sprinkled out. I did enjoy the 3D aspect overall. I just wish it was more. It just felt subdued. I imagine that 3D fans will be very happy with the 3D visuals in Encanto. In conclusion, Encanto looks very nice in 3D, and at times it can look incredible. And overall, it's very easy to recommend this to 3D fans and overall people who are interested in potentially watching this movie in 3D. So the final verdict is good 3D. Now on to the movie itself. Encanto is the Spanish word for charm, among other things. Charming is the best way to describe this magical animated movie from Disney. The story of Encanto revolves around the character of Mirabel. Mirabel lives with her family in a magical house in Colombia. Maria's family has various magical abilities. And sadly, and unfortunately for Miss Mirabel, she does not have any magical abilities of her own. So one day, the magical powers in the house and the family start to disappear, and Mirabel starts to investigate. This story is not your typical Disney fairy tale kind of story. The movie doesn't have a villain, and many of the elements of the story are not fully explained. I actually appreciate that some of the movie is left to mystery and is not explained away by some science or religion or something. It's just magic, and it's fine. I appreciate that. It's a very unique movie and has a very excellent pacing. I was really enthralled with the movie beginning to end. I love all the characters. They all have depth and great personalities on screen. The movie has a real heart to it, and it feels genuine. All the voice acting is top-notch, all the dialogue and the characters is well done and feels natural. The humor in this movie is well done. The comedy is a light touch, but it's very well implemented to the story. You're not going to be laughing hysterically, but you're going to be giggling and smiling and have some moments here and there. But it definitely is not like a straight-up comedy. Overall, Encanto is a fantastic movie, and it's top-tier Disney. I love seeing original movies from Disney, and this is definitely original. I have never seen anything quite like it. To my knowledge, I don't have any knowing that this is based on any kind of fables or fairy tales from the past. I think this is completely original, at least to my knowledge. At least. Now, when I'm watching the theater to see this movie, I didn't know it was a musical. And I wanted to make that as a fact because musical element is a big part of this movie. And overall, it's really well handled. I enjoy the musical scenes when they appeared on screen. That being said, I didn't feel like any song really stood out. There was no standout. All the songs are beautifully sung and have wonderful visuals to back it up, but I can't remember any of these songs after I watched the movie. Frozen had Let It Go. Little Mermaid had Under the Sea. Beauty and the Beast had Be Our Guest. Moana had You're Welcome. Aladdin had Friend Like Me. And sadly, Encanto does not have an equivalent to any of those awesome songs. Considering that this movie has so many songs, it's disappointing that none of them truly pop. This song issue might be the only real weakness to Encanto. I didn't count how many songs there was in this movie, but all of them are very enjoyable. None of them really just kind of pop. Like, oh, I want to listen to that outside of the movie. Totally fine. Not, if I rewatch this movie, I would not skip the songs or anything. Totally fine, enjoy them, but I don't want to listen to them again outside the movie. That's when you know a song really is special, when you don't care if you're watching a movie or not. You want to listen to it. And sadly, for the amount of songs Encanto has, none of them I felt really broke through. The visuals in Encanto are truly gorgeous. Other characters look distinct from one another, and it's easy to tell them apart. It's also colorful, beautifully animated. It's truly a feast for the eyes. I love how the characters look realistic, yet are stylized. I imagine that Encanto will be seen as a fantastic showcase for future TVs and monitors. In the future, I imagine, you gotta see Encanto in 16K Super HDR, because it's really worth it. This is worth getting on 4K disc instead of watching it on Disney Plus or, whatever. It's just beautiful, stunningly beautiful, colorful. Well, it's a great animated showcase. Now, in closing, I just love this movie. I watched this movie with low expectations. I assumed Disney's going to have a pretty good showing. They usually are. And I was stunned when I walked out. I was like, wow. This is easily one of my favorite movies of 2021. And it's a fun, emotional ride that just feels original. It's not a perfect movie, but it's pretty damn close. And I just truly love my time with Encanto. And it's just on that edge where I feel like it's something about it. I couldn't give it all the way, 100%, but I'm so close. So I give it, my final verdict for the movie itself is 9 out of 10 and Editor's Choice Film Award. It's truly a magical movie and something you should not miss. And it really, Disney just hits out of the park with this movie. And I definitely recommend it and loved it. So that's going to be it for me. Bye. Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, Mr. Bengal 5, and Kevin Winter for your financial support on Patreon.com.
So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.